All right. We live and direct. We live and direct. Let me get this straightened up a little bit more. You hear that? A little bit more. A little bit more. Peace, everybody. Let me get a little bit of libations. We're gonna jump right into this teaching. And family, please, family, subscribe to my YouTube page. It's free. I'm uploading my lectures daily. Please, family, subscribe to my YouTube page. Check out our informational lectures. We're here to spread knowledge. We're here to spread who we are as Moors. We're here to spread that we have a nationality, that you're not black, you're not colored, you're not Negro. And so these are the things that we teach. We're not here to argue or debate with anyone. So before I get into this teaching, let me just start off with our Moorish prayer, and then we're going to dive right into this teaching. Allah. And when I say Allah, family, I'm talking about the manifestation of myself. Arm, leg, arm, head. The Father of the universe. The Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Allah is the protector, our guide, my salvation by day and by night, by his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. We Moors, we respect all the laws and the prophets. We respect Confucius, Yahshua, which they use Jesus, because that was widely known. Confucius. So when brothers be talking about the Moorish science is a religious thing, no, it's not. It's a nationality and divine creed. We teach this science. We teach what science is about. So let me get into this benediction. But may the benison of Allah, which is arm, leg, arm, head, be upon you and your family always, as we all should strive to be a credit to Allah. Make haste to bestow thy acts of love upon your brother and sisters, and we should do our best to shun all evil. Remember, brothers and sisters, take suckle of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that you, that I, that us together might nourish the souls of all men, all women, all children. Let truth be thy shield in the manifest battle of falsehood. Know that man nor woman need to pick the lock to the gates of paradise by means of petty or criminal theft. For behold, the keys to thy salvation already rest within thy own hands. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, inconsistency, there is still the greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah, may YHWH protect thee, guide thee, preserve us, lengthen our age, and give us everlasting peace. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. When I tell brothers and sisters, I don't know what you are, but I have a divine creed and a nationality. I'm a spiritual man, and so I fight this physical battle in the spiritual. And I like to set the atmosphere with the last one. What's up, nephew? Nephew, you need to give me a call, man. You need to give me a call, nephew. We gotta talk about some things. You know I love you. But prayer for positivity. I pray that I think peace, speak peace, and that I am peace. I pray that I think truth, speak truth, and that I am truth. I pray that I think love, speak love, and that I am love. I pray everything I attract, I pray everything you attract carries high, harmonious vibrations and intentions. May the light within me, may the light within you serve as a beacon for those that need it. Amen. Amin Ra. Aya Asha Aya. Shalom Alakim. We have to understand who we are. That's when we operate to our higher self, young brothers and sisters. When I say Ashe, we have to understand who we are. When I break the history down and I tell you, man, Negro, African American, that's chattel, that's slavery. We're going to talk about this today. And I want you to study. I'm not here to talk about no religion because that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm a philosopher, a theosophist. I'm a Moor, and I'm spiritual, and I study all sciences. And I want you to use your brain. I don't want you to listen to me. I want you to save yourself. I want you to get all the knowledge within so you can know how to operate on this earth plane. This is not a game. We're not put on this earth just to be working for somebody else and think that's winning and afraid to put the work inside and build and understand who you are first. We have to be okay with studying. When I tell brother, we are education. We are education. So let's get into this history lesson today. I don't know. I got about 4 topics to talk about. But first, I hope you got your pens, my brothers and sisters, please. Because we don't get into what somebody tell us or belief. Because right under belief is a word called belie. And I tell brothers, the day of research, everybody have these smartphones. Be smart with them. Stop going around saying, my man said this. We supposed to be building, man. We're not here arguing with nobody. I'm not here to argue with nobody. I'm here to challenge you to pick up something and study who you are. Study self. When I tell brothers and sisters we have a divine creed and a nationality, when I talk about inner self, I'm like, brother, I can't tell you about more science in no day and you watching me. You have to be willing to be a student. You have to be willing to be a student and learn who you are. That's what this is all about. Brothers just think there's something outside of themselves, filling out some paperwork, and I say it's about saving yourself. It's about putting yourself in the right jurisdiction, in the right persona. When I say we are Moorish nationals, and it's a different from national and citizen, it's just so much. And I say we gotta build this nation, man. We are a people. It's certain titles that the Europeans put on us to keep you in slavery mentally for all your life. And all I see brothers and sisters do is arguing with each other. And I'm like, this is crazy. That's like religion. That's why these brothers argue with each other like it's religion. And when I tell Lamore he's arguing with a Hebrew Israelite brother, and I say, why are you arguing with somebody with a Bible? Because if you understand who you are, if you have your paperwork, if you understand who you are inside, you know that you're from the tribe of David, the tribe of Judah, lineage from David. What is he talking to you about? So we build bridges. Brothers just misquoting things in the scriptures. When I hear brothers talking about it's a Christian and Christianity. When they say the followers of Jesus, per se, Yahshua, were Christian. That's false doctrine. Acts 24:5 say they were Nazarenes, the pestilent fellow, the ringleader of the Nazarenes. Christian is still Greek. Cretan, that's the root of that. I mean, I don't understand certain things. And we're not Al-Islam. Because in Al-Islam and Arabism, God and man is separate, just like Christianity. Come on, man. So let's build real fast on some history. So get your pens. You must know who you are and know how far we have to go. And we must build with the right ones and be willing, if you have to do it alone, do it. Because it'll save you. It's about you. It's about you. It's about attracting things to you. It's about saving your family. It's about saving your kids. It's about telling the babies who they are. I've been doing these lectures at all these schools and colleges, and we're getting ready to go on a YMCA tour across 10 states. We're going to be at the YMCAs, and we're going to be teaching nationality all through history. In history, nothing's hidden. It's all in the doctoral libraries, all in the books. No Europeans created nothing. No Europeans created nothing. And I teach this from a scholarly perspective. Yes, I'm a Moor, but I'm a scholar as well, and I'm a teacher. So the first thing we're going to talk about is this Dred Scott versus Sanford. Get your pens. And when I touch the rest of this, then you're going to understand why Christianity was brought to certain people in a certain area. And then you hear people say, well, it taught them how to read. You can't teach me how to read. I know my own language. Dred Scott versus Sanford, 60 U.S. in 1857, also known as the Dred Scott case, was a landmark decision by the United States Supreme Court on U.S. labor law and constitutional law. It held that a Negro, when brother called, oh my nigga, oh my Negro, You black man, listen to me. It held that a Negro whose ancestors were imported into the U.S. and sold as slaves, whether enslaved or free, could not be an American citizen and therefore had no standing to sue in federal court, and that the federal government had no power to regulate slavery in the federal territories acquired after the creation of the United States. Dred Scott, an enslaved man of the Negro race, or of the African race, who had been taken by his owners to free states and territories, attempted to sue for his freedom in a 7-2 decision written by Chief Justice Roger B. Taney. The court denied Scott's request. The decision was only the second time that the Supreme Court had ruled an act of Congress to be unconstitutional. The holding, judgment, reversed, and suited dismissed for lack of jurisdiction. Listen to this. Rule 1. Persons of African descent cannot be, nor were ever intended to be citizens under the U.S. Constitution. Plaintiff is without standing to file a suit. Do you hear me? So when you go into court, file some paperwork as a black African American, you nothing. I mean, here you can research this stuff for yourself. Persons of African descent cannot be, nor were ever intended to be citizens under the U.S. Constitution. Plaintiff is without standing to file a suit. And when I tell you about the black Christian codes, look this stuff up. You don't have to let nobody get you with no spookism. When I tell you it's so important of your nationality and your spirituality and your divine creed is so important, this is law. This is all right. It's in United Nations law. You have the right of a nationality, the right to change it, the right of a child, the right of indigenous people. I mean, this is too simple. That's why I said we have to be willing to study and willing to be taught by our brother that put the work in, that been through the fire. You have a right of a nationality and a divine creed. That's United Nations law. You have the right to change it. That's the law. We are Moors, man. With Christopher, in the 1828 dictionary, what do it say? The copper color races found here by the Europeans. So, and I'm an etymologist and I'm a linguistic. So when you break down the etymology of the word Indian and you break down Indi, that's black, that's color, that's indigo. So he was talking about what he's seen. People were already here. The Washita Moors were here. We are Americans. That out of Africa theory is BS, man. Somebody always telling our story and we jump on that religious dogma. Get into the story, or get into the history. So now I'm going to give you some more history of how they diagnosed. Listen to, and this stuff was written when I say pseudo academia, when I be saying a medical apartheid. When I be saying, when you say Christian and Negro African American, that's synonymous. Disease and peculiarities of the Negro race by so-called Dr. Cartwright in Debo's review. Come on, we teaching, because I told you. History month every day for me, we not going to stop. We're not just going to come with some little month and give these characters that all the kids know. And then every time we talk about history, they start these babies in the 1700s about some slavery. And don't tell them about way before that, when you were Moors, when you ruled Spain, Europe, Portugal, all over. When you see the little pennants, those are Moors. Those are royalty. Those are noble men. Not no slaves. When I give the history, when I show you the history that's unknown, where my book at? U.S. history. Man, we have a history. We was all in politics. The history in black and white. All these brothers in the U.S. Congress that they don't teach about. I teach this stuff. This stuff is real. But drapetomania, DRAPETOMANIA. Listen to this, y'all. This is how they diagnose us with their pseudo science and pseudo medicine and medical and linguistic medical apartheid. Watch this. Drapetomania, or the disease causing Negroes to run away. It is unknown to our medical authorities, although its diagnostic symptom the absconding from service is well known to our planters and overseers. In noticing a disease not heretofore classed among the long list of maladies that man is subject to, it was necessary to have a new term to express it. The cause, in the most of cases, that induces the Negro to run away from service is as much a disease of the mind as any other species of mental alienation. Do you hear this, doctor? And much more curable as a general rule. Listen to this crap. With the advantage of proper medical advice, strictly follow this troublesome practice that many Negroes have of running away can be almost entirely prevented, although the slaves be located on the borders of a free state with a stone's throw of the abolitionists. Oh, we got more. If the white man attempts to oppose the deity's will by trying to make the Negro anything else than the submissive knee bender, which the Almighty declared, the Almighty, their perspective of Christianity, brothers, do you hear what they say? I can show you history anywhere where black people occupied the land, it was abandoned. And if it wasn't abandoned, they say that God gave it to them. This in their book. So we don't have to argue with nobody. We don't have to argue with nobody when we talk about land mass. And I say, brother, we can get the maps. I go with maps. I go with land mass. I'm going to tell you more about Queen Nanny and some history even after Queen Nanny and Jamaican Maroons. I know you know a lot about that, but I'm going to give you some more history of Queen Nanny and the Jamaican Maroons after I touch this. But if the white man's attempt to oppose the deities will try to make the Negro anything else than submissive knee bender, which the Almighty declare he should be. Which the Almighty declare he should be. Which the Almighty declare he should be. So right there, they're using their God to say you should be a slave. Brothers and sisters, we don't get into argument. When I say anti mean replacement. So you can look up words. Anti mean replacement. So you got to ask, was Jesus Christ the replacement? It's not a man. Anti mean replacement. Anti mean replacement. Just do some research. But trying to raise him to a level with himself, or by putting himself on a equality with the Negro, or if he abuses the power which God has given him. Wait, I might have missed the part. Let me see. If the white man, blah, 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 trying to put him on the Negro. Okay. Or if he abuses the power which God has given him over his fellow man by being cruel to him or punishing him in anger, or by neglecting to protect him from the wanton abuses of his fellow servants and all others, or by denying him the usual comforts and necessities of life, the Negro will run away. But if he keeps him in the position that we learn from the scriptures, do you hear this? But if he keeps him in the position that we learn from the scriptures. So therefore, the scriptures, they're teaching the scriptures how for you to be a slave, how your black skin is a curse. And I destroyed that. There's no curse of Ham. I destroyed that mess in the biblical books. Even in the Book of Mormon, I destroyed that. They tell you in the Book of Mormon that the 10 tribes, in the Book of Adar, I get with history, man. I get with history. I get with history. It tells you. People stay with these people. James Adar, or Adair, the history of the American Indians. We got to get into knowing and just get into somebody that's through some religious dogma down our throat. And we don't even know who we are as a people, as a gathering, as the copper colored racers, as Moors with culture. We arguing instead of building. But by denying him the comfort you will keep him running away. This is the position of submission. And if his master or overseer be kind and gracious in his hearing towards him without consideration, and at the same time ministers to the physical wants and protects him from abuse, the Negro is spellbound and cannot run away. Do you hear this? This is a doctor's medical book, according to my experiences. And this is the doctor saying this. the genuflexics, the genuflexit, the awe and reverence must be exacted from them, or they will despise their masters, become rude and ungovernable, and run away on Mason and Dixon line. You know what the Mason-Dixon line is. Two classes of persons were apt to lose their Negroes: those who made themselves too familiar with them, treating them as equals. You hear that? And making little or no distinction in regard to color. And on the other hand, those who treated them cruelly, denied them the common necessities of life, neglected to protect them against the abuses of others, or frightened them by a blustering manner of approach, when about to punish them for misdemeanors. Before the Negro ran away, unless they are frightened or panic struck, they become sulky and dissatisfied. They cause this sulkiness and dissatisfaction should be inquired into and removed, or they are apt to run away or fall into the Negro consumption. Oh man, this is crazy. Let me give you more. But if treated kindly, well fed and clothed with fuel enough to keep a small fire burning all night, separated into families, each family having its own house, not permitted to run about at night to visit their neighbors, to receive visits, or use intoxicating liquors, and not overworked or exposed too much to the weather, they are very easily governed, more so than any other people in the world. When all this is done, if any one of more of them at any time are inclined to raise their heads to a level with their master or overseer, humanity and their own good require that they should be punished until they fall into the submissive state, which is what intended for them to occupy in all after time, when their genitor, received the name of canon or submissive knee bender. They have only to be kept in that state as a knee bender and treated like children, with care, kindness, attention, humility, blase splee. Diasathia, Atopia, however they pronounce it, or heptitude is spelled Dysaethiopica, Aethiopia. My mom in there, she's in linguistics, she's repeating the word. Or hebitude of the mind, and obtuse, sensibility of the body, a disease peculiar to Negroes, called by overseers. You hear that? Rascality. Diaesthesia Aethiopica is a disease peculiar to Negroes, affecting both mind and body in a manner as well expressed by Dasathesia, the name I have, this is the doctor saying, the name I have given it, as could be by a single term. There is both mind and sensibility, but both seem to be difficult to reach by impressions from without. There is a partial insensibility of the skin. That's crazy. And so great of the intellectual faculties. So your skin color is saying that make you stupid. You hear this stupid stuff? As to be like a person half asleep. That is with difficulty, aroused and kept awake. I mean, I could go on and on, man. But this is what the pseudo doctors write. When I tell brothers and sisters, when a religion is brought to you, when I say you African American, you was never to be a national, never to be free. This out of Africa theory is to separate you from the land. And when I give it to you in the 1828 dictionary, what do American is? American is a copper color racist found here by the Europeans. This is their pen. This is the 1828 dictionary. What are you arguing about? I break it down that out of Africa theory is bullcrap. When I give it to you, the slave ships out of Judah, Israel. When I show you that Alex Haley book, that root stuff is crap. It's called a book called African by Colander. He got sued Research this stuff, man. Before we get into this teaching, let me give you this. Let me give you this about these. All right, and I told you about Queen Nanny, the Jamaican Maroons, but I'm gonna give you a little backdrop even more. If brothers just now starting to follow me, and I say please, family, subscribe to my YouTube page. It's free. When I tell you how, and I have to say this, everywhere the European went, they destroyed and killed. When they went and destroyed all the Tasmanian. Research this. They went and destroyed all the Tasmanian, enslaved them, imprisoned them, destroyed their land. And when you start researching it, everywhere they went, they colonized and destroyed. That's what colonize is. That's what that is, man. So it's nothing to argue about. I challenge everybody to do some research. It's not going. What's happening? It's still bubbling. Hold on. Come on, open up. If it don't go, but we're gonna talk about this. Hold on, what's happening? Let's see what it pop up now. It's acting like it don't want to open up for me. This is retarded. Let's see, can we get to the other part? But if it don't open up, it's freezing. Well, it might not let me get to that. Hold on. Bear with me. Bear with me. We're gonna get right back to it. But if you have your if you have your access and if you follow me and if you're doing your research, get your pens and write that the Maroons of Nova Scotia. I don't know what's happening. Everything is tripping. That's weird. That is weird. Hold on, bear with me, family. We might just have to go to the next one. Give me 1 second. Just bear with me. Let's see what's happening. You know, this how this type of stuff happen with these computers, I guess. But I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna give it 1 second to open it back up. So bear. But anyway. What we're going to talk about is the Moors, the Jamaican Maroons, how they was dispersed to Nova Scotia and Sierra Leone. It's a history that they haven't even taught. Man, that's crazy. It's not even opening up. Man, that is weird. What is the problem? Yeah, I don't know, man. That's my brother. Like, what's hold? I don't know. Computer messing up. A religious person to say the devil busy. But I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna say I'm out here in Arizona and my internet messing up. So just bear with me. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Let me log back in. See? And that's what we do, man. I said we in school, man. Let me sign in and we right back to where we need to be. Yeah. Go on, let me sign in. Hook me up. Oh, look at this. Okay. There we go. Sign in. Let's see. Sign in. Come on, y'all. I think we back rolling, family. Bam. All right. Pop up. Excuse me. That was gross. Excuse me, family. I burped, I know. Come on, what's the... All right, now let me see. Hold on. Let me see. See, this real live, y'all. Everything, stuff mess up. Hey, everything, that's live. Okay, I know, I want it. I want to go there. You let me. Give me 1 second. Come on. Yeah, bro, I know. I got two things going on. One of my brothers like, man, that's messed up. I know, man, everything be... That's just how internet be happening. A lot of times I have so much stuff printed, man, but I be on the go so much. I say I just try to go off. Okay, we back on. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to give you this Nova Scotia one real quick. All right. Or they don't want to do, or they don't want to give it to us. If not, I'm just going to have you look it up and I'm going to go right into our teaching. I hope you got pens, man. I really do. Because, oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Well, when you research that, yeah, that's, oh, I don't know. That's making my computer freeze when I jump into that one. And that's weird. Maybe they don't want me to tell y'all about the Maroons of Nova Scotia, huh? Because it's messing my computer up. Craziness. So what we're going to do is just jump right into the teaching. And what I'll do is I'll give you that Nova Scotia teaching. I'll print it out because every time I go to it, it's like jamming. And that's weird. That's one of my documents. That is weird. So let's just go on and do this message, man. And hopefully we can go from there. If not, oh well. Yeah. Yep, bro. I see you. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I see you. We here. We still here. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go to the Nova Scotia, man, because it's tripping. And every time I try to open the Nova Scotia one up. So I want you to research. Some homework for my brothers and sisters is research the Maroons in Nova Scotia and research the Maroons in Sierra Leone. Please. It's gonna show you something of how everywhere the European went, they tore it, they just destroyed. So research that. Research the Jamaican Maroons in Sierra Leone and in Nova Scotia, how they was dispersed, how the British dispersed them, took them from their land, take them somewhere cold, put them on ships, and called them settlers. Come on, man, to build up a whole nother area. So research that. I'm not gonna keep going back in there because it's messing up my computer. So they don't want me to give that. Let's see if this will get. But we can give you this history. Let's go. This is the history lesson that I want to give to my brothers and sisters. When I say, I'm not here to debate nobody. I'm here to challenge my brothers and sisters to study, ask questions. And if you're a part of a temple, and if you travel to different temples, each temple should be saying the same thing. Because we're under the divine creed and the spirituality. More science is not no Islam or no Christianity. So when I say that, it's no Arabism or no Europeanism. More science is a science, and we teach nationality and divine creed. The whole thing is about nationality, telling you you're not Negro, you're not black, and you're not color. Through history, when I give history lessons, and I tell brothers to have a pen, research the case. I tell brothers Abraham Lincoln was an attorney before he was the president. Before he was the president, he practiced law for 23 years. He defended a Moor in court that proved that he wasn't a Negro color, that he was a free man. Please, I challenge you that. And when they put these titles on us, it's to strip you from nationality. Study. And when you have studied well enough, family, you should study some more. We must take back what was ours. And it cannot be done until we study enough to know what is ours and feel comfortable with making such assertions. That's when I say when you see Moors and when you should see a Moor, I don't care where you are, they should be operating in love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, and my 2 cents, health and wealth. We should be saying the same thing. If not, it's religion. That's what I'm saying. We should be saying the same thing. We should be operating as a unit. We must take back what is ours. And it cannot be done until we study enough to know what is ours and feel comfortable with making such assertions. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm here to deliver to my brothers and sisters as a vessel. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we have to understand what that's talking about. We have to be taught. And people don't, when I say taught, no one can tell you what Allah is. Allah tell man what it is. That's why I say in more science, there's no separation from man and Allah. Man and God, whatever you want to call it. That's why in our science, when brothers be saying, oh, you need to speak this language and that language. Well, brother, you better read our book and our divine creed, because our Messiah, our prophet come in our language. We can understand what he's saying. It's in our book. It's in our Quran. It's in our Morris Quran. It's in our divine creed. I'm not speaking, when I be speaking this, when I see more, they act like I'm speaking Chinese. Noble Drew Ali always told us when we teach, Noble Drew Ali built a house. All we have to do is live in it and perfect our house. That's it. We don't tear nothing. It's nothing to tear down. It's perfected. The house is built with our hands. The tabernacle is here. The nationality and divine creed. You have a nationality. If I can just get you to thinking again, you would save yourselves. So let's get started off with comprehending nationality and birthrights. When I say nationality, and when brothers be asking me about ID cards and our birthrights, and I tell brothers and sisters like this: you are more by birth. But if Noble Drew Ali created a more science temple of America, with not just cars that somebody can get a ID card machine and print cars, but with birthrights and things. You know, I'm just going, and I make copies of my stuff, because I be going in my safe, pulling stuff out all day, and my wife will kick my butt. But if we are Moors, and we say we Moors, and Noble Drew Ali created a temple, and if we spend our money, and this is how I explained it to a brother that asked me what it costs, I said, man, listen to me. This is something that I wanted to do. It's going to cost you the same what it cost me. It cost me to file my paperwork, get all my birthrights. So if somebody did print you an ID card with more science temple on it, that's fine. I'm not here to knock what nobody do. That's fine. But if it come with birthrights and paperwork, I hope so. And these are just copies of mine. When I said research the temple in Chicago, you come with paperwork, and mine are on my birthright papers. And I mean, there's nothing to hide. This is our 720 Allah. May Allah bless the protectors amongst always be upon a house of Bey, title of nobility, certificate Noble Khari Goodman Bey, registry of the noble house of Bey, a descendant of the royal house of Judah. And then we got our adapt chamber paper, and these are all copies. Our originals just look like our birth papers, and that's why I be saying, it's like, if you're going to be a Moor, give it Chicago, get your birthright if you have the money. If it's not important to you, okay, that's fine. But it's important. It was important to me. Moors Missionary Decrees, our certificate, Supreme Grand Body and Supreme Grand Council of the Moor Science Temple of America, which Noble Drew established in Mecca, have been vested with sovereign powers by the great God Allah and his illustrious prophet Noble Drew Ali to confer degrees of a Muslim, M-O-S-L-E-M, of the West to a person or persons that has been raised 180 degrees from a shallow grave, son of a widow in the North Grade. I, Noble K. Goodman Bey, my obligation as a Muslim missionary by free will, the obligation of the nobility, the elect of Moorish Science Temple of America, teaching the Asiatic of the North, South, and Central America to love instead of hate, as I travel the burning sands of the East to the West in 39 celestial steps, with my staff of comfort, my companion of the beast of burden, and my Hebrew master logo, of perfection, I do here upon my holy Quran, Circle 7, demonstrate my degrees to raise fallen humanity from its imperfections with the degrees of social duties, justice, charity, gratitude, and sincerity. In my travels, Allah guide my feet in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and I shall not give ear to falsehood, hypocrisy, and deceit. As I travel the burning sands, I possess my charter of warrant and dispensation, my authority to pass through all ports unmolested with my divine rights and privileges. All sons of a Muslim must hold true to this obligation to nobles, Muslims, and Mohammedans by words and deeds. So yes, an ID is good, but paperwork is what you need. Our United States of America and our Free National Republic, 1774, U.S. President Abraham Lincoln, 1863, Amnesty Oath. I, Khari Goodman Bey, do solemnly affirm in presence of Almighty God that I will henceforth faithfully support, protect, defend, and constitute of the United States and the Union of the States thereunder, and that I will in like manner abide by and faithfully support all acts of Congress passed during the existing rebellion with reference to slaves, so for as not repealed, modified, or held void by Congress or by decision of the Supreme Court, and that I will in like manner abide by faithfully support all proclamations of the President made during the existing rebellion having reference to slaves so far as not modified or declared void by decision of the Supreme Court. So help me God. I mean, by the powers of decree, it is so ordered and demanded by our illustrious prophet Noble Drew Ali to register all nobles of the house of Bey to their title of nobility, pursuant to Leviticus 25:10. By the powers of the decree, it is so observed and commanded by our illustrious prophet Noble Drew Ali, Moorish Americans are of the royal house of Judah, descendant of King David. So why are you arguing with somebody on the street about who you are? Why so-called Hebrew Israelite and Moors arguing? And if you're a Moor, you know who you are. You don't argue. I just told you who you are. There's no reason to argue. By the powers of the decree, so is ordered and commanded by our illustrious prophet Noble Drew Ali. Moorish Americans are the royal house of Judah, descendants of the King David. That's why I tell brothers to study is study. And when you study, you walk in peace. You just walk away. It just told you from the royal house of Judah, descendant of King David. The royal house. 720, Allah, may Allah bless and protect, always be upon the house of Bey, title of nobility, certificate, Noble Khari Goodman Bey. I can go on and tell you what this all about. We Supreme Grand Body and Grand Council of Moorish Science Temple of America, granted sovereign. Oh, I gave you that. I gave you all that. Listen to this. By the powers of the Charter of Warrant and Dispensation, this Supreme Grand Body bestow a title of nobility to member Khari Hakeem Goodman Bey, that is descended from the royal house of Judah and that of the house of David. So now we're done with that. We're done with that. We're done with that. You shouldn't be arguing with nobody about who they are. It's laughable. That's the problem. These so-called conscious debaters, it's just like preachers. We got to teach who we are, our divine creed and nationality. Our divine creed and nationality. We teach history. We teach spirituality. That's who we are. But getting started with nationality and birthrights. Get you an unabridged dictionary, 1936, and look at the definition of American. Look at the definition of American. Look at it. I just told you the 1828 dictionary. Look what American is. The 1828. Brothers be so caught up with religion, I say, no, you got to know who you are. American, a noun, a native of America, originally applied to the aboriginals or copper colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. But what is American? A native of America, originally applied to the aboriginals or the copper colored races found here by the Europeans. There's nothing to argue about. When Christopher Columbus came here, technically, he found Indians. When you break the etymology of that word down, when I be breaking down human and HUE, and that has to do with man of color, woman of color. This is not me. When I be saying we don't get caught up in arguing, you should get caught up in understanding who you are. That's why I say please log on my YouTube page. We're going on our YMCA tour. We're going to be going to 10 cities teaching this science at the YMCA. Hopefully we can catch a curriculum before we can start teaching this. But get the unabridged dictionary 1936 and look up the definition of American. Get the 1828 Webster Dictionary, look up American. Get the Henry Campbell Black Laws Dictionary, 4th edition. Research nationality. Cross-reference. And that's what I tell brothers. When I say cross-reference everything. And if you're not willing to research and study and learn, then you're just going on religion of belief. You just going on, oh, I believe it, what my man said. Or this is my truth. But your truth can be based on a lie. Don't you want to know something for yourself? Cross-reference. Research everything that I'm saying. Cross-reference definitions of rights in a Bureau's Law Dictionary. Raw's third revision with emphasis on political rights. See definitions of domicile and all of the sub-definitions of domicile, D-O-M-I-C-I-L-E, in Black Law's Dictionary, the 4th edition. There's so many editions. 2 key attributes of nationality are what? Domicile, if that's how you want to pronounce it, and political status. 2 key attributes of nationality are domicile, D-O-M-I-C-I-L-E, and political status. You don't have to listen to me, just do research. You can research these in different books of the Moorish Empire in Europe, volume 1, 2, and 3. Law and history cannot be separate. Law and history. That's why they want to get you in religion. When you look up the archaeological finds of the Olmec head, when I say Mexico, when Lemura, when I talk about things, man, when they just connotating things and not telling you the truth. Hey, honey.
Hello.
But we have archaeological finds of certain things. But let's talk about this Moors and this Moors in America thing. We are in America. We are Moors in America. We are descendants, but we are Moors in America. You're home, brothers and sisters. When I be telling you, looking at things wrong. When I show you the maps, when I show you how they got Greenland and they got Africa so small, and I show you how they got the North up top, the South on the bottom. When I show you about the 1904, the Louisiana Purchase and Wyeth's Purchase and certain things, you talk about you want to go somewhere and you right home. They want you to think that out of Africa to separate you from your home. The word Moor comes from the Latin word mores, M-A-U-R-E-S, and the Greek adjective moros, meaning dark or black, denoting skin color. Circa 46 BC. You can find this in the Oxford English Dictionary. New York Oxford University Press, 1977. That's when I was born in 1977. The term Moor is also used as a transitive verb to moor a ship. So when I say, well, how things be used, when I say words have dual meanings, that's why when I say we Moors, we were travelers, you know. A person want to put a negative connotation, pirates. No, we travel. The Nile got you everywhere. Where? From Nubia down. I'm telling you, man. Lasha. But research the Webster's New World Dictionary, 3rd College Edition, 1988, page 881. And I'm trying to give you references so you can look things up, so you can research yourself. That's what we do in scholarship. If not, I'll just be preaching. I want to give you things to research for yourself. We can have dialogue because we learn together. That's what this science is all about. When brothers be talking about religious stuff, I say every religion, Baptist, Presbyterian, Reformation, all of it was established by a European. Research this. All these organized, when we talk about here, when we talk about overseers, all that stuff was done for a particular reason. Telling you that your black skin is a curse. The Mormons telling that, and when I destroy that, your black skin ain't no curse, because he only talking about one area of people in that so-called religious Bible. He never cursed nobody's skin in that scripture black, but he showed cursed somebody's skin leprosy, which is white, and cursed not only them, but all their generations were cursed with leprosy. These were people that was I'm gonna turn your skin with leprosy, pertaining to that biblical story. Remember, I said biblical story, because the Bible is analogy, parable, symbology, analogy. And we must explain the esotericness. But anyway, let's finish. But the word admiral comes from the Arabic word amiri or amir, meaning commander, Moorish navigator. The rubber and the sextant, the 2nd revision, March 1st, 1989, page 6. The root amir is amir, or A-M-E-R, meaning American. Look in the Webster's New World Dictionary, 3rd College Edition, 1988, page 44. The word American means a native of America, originally applied to what? I gave it to you. Aboriginals or copper color races found here by the Europeans, right? Yes. But now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America, right? Yes. I gave you the dictionary. Research that, please. The Noah Webster's original 1828 dictionary. It tells you, American Dictionary of the English language, the term American etymologically is commander, love, riches. Amir, commander. Arabic word, amor, love. French word, rica, rica, rich. Spanish word. We just teaching. Circa 480 AD. The monastic brotherhood, the Catholic Moors from Morocco. Yeah? Yeah? Catholic Moors from Morocco landed on present-day Connecticut, North America, near the coast of Long Island. The inscription found on a granite outcrops in Cacapumps or Cacapumps in Forest, Connecticut, and the inscriptions on the Hog Minmound Rock, located in Figuig, Figuig, toward the east of Morocco, confirms the voyage. You can research Moroccan daily newspaper, the Lee Matin de Serra, the Dua Maghrib, in September 16, 1955. And if you want to contact more information, if you want to research more extensively, which I did when I was doing my dissertation, you can research the Paramount Mission for Morocco in New York. Circa 700 and 800 AD. You had several Muslim schools in North America. The Valley of Fire in Nevada. The Mesa Verde in Colorado. Members Valley, New Mexico, and Tipurkano in India. North African Arab and Old Kufic Arab scripts are engraved on the rocks. On diagrams, man. And in circa 1492 AD, on Monday, October 21st, 1492, Christopher Columbus admits in his diary or in his papers, while sailing near Cuba, he saw a mosque on top of a beautiful mountain. The ruins of the mosque and the minarets with inscriptions of Quranic verses have been found in Cuba, Mexico, Texas, Nevada. Where's my towel go? I'm kind of sweating. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah, man. In Nevada, all these places, man. The dress of the Indian Moorish woman, the long veils, the men, the breath clothes painted in the style of Moorish draperies in Grenada and Trinidad. You can research the pre-Columbian Muslims in the Americas by Dr. Yusuf Mora, by Dr. Yusuf Mroueh. Research that. And brothers be misquoting things, man. Like, for instance, it's a young Moor brother, and I'm not gonna say his name, and he was arguing with, he's from New York, and I say, brother, you never argue with nobody on the streets with nothing. And the brother was, and a Hebrew Israelite brothers was arguing with the brothers, telling them his feds and this is a curse. And I said, brother, that's not true, because all in the scriptures, all in Leviticus, all through the Bible, is telling them about their bonnets and about Aaron put bonnets on their head, put their garments on, put earrings in their head. Let me see if I got these in my folder. I just have to remove false doctrine, and it's just disheartening when brothers do that to other brothers and with false information. And I say, well, if the scripture says that, when somebody's saying the Bible says this, tell them to show you. Tell them to show you what the Bible says. Say, if the Bible says that, say, show me. Oh, I think I got it right here. So I'm about to show you. It's false doctrine. So the brothers on the street, them Hebrew Israelite brothers, will tell, and I say, and then you say you only the chosen one. We all the chosen ones. It's just what it is. But when you're talking about that, that's false doctrine, because in Leviticus 19:27, that's talking about the beard. I'm sorry, it's talking about do not cut the hair on the sides of your head. That was one thing I was arguing. I was not arguing, but displaying with a brother, a Christian brother. He was telling the brothers that his beard was a sin, and I say that's bullcrap. The scriptures tell you, do not cut the hair and the sides of your head or clip the edges of your beard. These were priests. That's Leviticus 19:27. Other words, do not trim off the hair on your temples or trim your beards. But when we talk about the bonnets, listen to this. Exodus 28:40. And for Aaron's sons, thou shalt make coats, and thou shalt make them girdles, and bonnets shalt thou make for them, for glory and for beauty. So you better research what bonnet is in Hebrew, family. Oh, Exodus 29:9. And thou shalt gird them with girdles, Aaron and his sons, and put the bonnets, something on their head on them, and the priest of the office shall be theirs for a perpetual statute. I mean, I don't know what brothers be talking about. I study all law. I study everything. So when you misquote things, that's sad. So brother, stand on your square and study. And that's what I tell brothers. Stand on your square and study. Because even your brother argue with you. When I say, why are you arguing with somebody? You're not a Christian. Because I'm not a Christian. I'm a Moor. What's my religion? What's my spirituality? More science. I study all the laws and the prophet. The root of Christian is creatine. That's still Greek. Christian is not English. That's Greek. Flat out. And Christians pray to Serapis Christos. In the scriptures, the followers of Yahshua per se, they wouldn't talk about they were Christian. In Acts 24:5, they were Nazarenes. Research that. Acts 24:5. This fellow is a pestilent one. The ringleader of the Nazarenes. The Nazarenes. I keep telling you, the Bible, the New Testament, the Novus Testamentum, that mess was written by Europeans for conquering. I be laughing at brothers, man. But let's finish teaching. Okay, where we at? Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, the descendants of the North American Moors are the present day Iroquois. Lasha! Are the descendants of the North American Moors are the present day Iroquois. Oh, okay, the time about to go up, y'all, so log back on real fast. This finna get deep. Log back on. Lasha! First lady! H2O.